come take care of me. But while I wait for nobody to show up, welcome to this week's edition of the Antisocial Socialite. Ba-da-ba. Yeah, so I'm feeling like shit. And for the last few days, I'm like, I'll record my episode ahead of time. There's nothing too time sensitive. Here we are. Last day. Need to edit, need to do everything. And here I am, still sick. I don't know what's going on. Usually when my sinuses act up, my stomach acts up. And this morning, I was in the shower and was like, oh, I really don't feel well again. It's like every day of my life, but especially today. And I was like, oh, I don't feel well. And then I got so sick and I almost fucking passed out. And my Instacart order just arrived 3 hours after I fucking placed the order. And I'm like, just give me my Gatorade. Give me my electrolytes. I need to just feel better. But enough about me, whatever. Yeah, I'm sitting here in my bed. I hope you guys like my duvet. Isn't it so pretty? Weird story, fun fact. I sent a picture before I moved in to my aunt in Chicago. Never mentioned this duvet covered comforter set, whatever, to her. And I was like, yeah, I just ordered this. Love it. And she was like, no shit, wait, you just ordered that? And I'm like, yeah, last night. She's like, I ordered the same one 2 weeks ago and I just put it on my bed last night, and then sent me a picture of my uncle drinking something while they were watching Blue Bloods. And I was like, WT fuck? This is a very acquired taste. Wayfair, by the way. But and it's wrinkly, but very acquired taste. It's not a basic ass thing. And I'm just like, yeah. Tastes are, Sweeney jeans are strong with the taste. I don't even know. But when I'm feeling better and when my bedroom set actually arrives, I'm going to do an episode from my bed because you guys are going to be so blown away with how it actually looks, and I can't wait to show it to you. But because of COVID, everything is back ordered, so I have to wait another probably 4 or 5 weeks until it arrives. But such is life. All right, so the Bucks won the Super Bowl. We all know that. But fun fact, I was actually cheering for the Chiefs because I don't like Tom Brady. I know this may shock a ton of you, especially because I am in Title Town, where Patriots are so beloved and everybody loves good old Tommy boy. But I've never been a fan of his. He doesn't, his whole being doesn't impress me. Yeah, he has a lot of talent. Call him the GOAT, call him whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But kind of the icing on the cake was honestly when his TB12 gym took almost $1 million of the PPP loan during the beginning stages of the pandemic, where literally restaurants up and down Boylston Street right near the gym went out of business because of the pandemic. And yet he's reaping the benefits of this loan, and his personal life, which is separate from business, I know, but he just bought a multi-million-dollar yacht days after, maybe a day or two after receiving that loan. And I just feel if it's something that you really are passionate about, and I'm pretty sure it's a private company, just move your own fucking money in there. You'll get a massive tax refund, but it's all right. The Chiefs didn't win. Maybe that's why I'm sick, because I had bad juju going towards Tom Brady, and now that's why I'm still sick and feeling like shit, but whatever. But The Weeknd, his performance was interesting. I like him a lot as a singer, and I think he is really talented, but I didn't feel the show was entertainment worthy. I don't feel it was captivating J-Lo and Shakira last year really was great. But it was kind of underwhelming, and I'm sorry, Weekend, but you were looking definitely like a weekday. Not into that. So, I don't know. Maybe that the second guess is because he just announced his tour. I won't buy tickets. I don't know why I'm like so slow right now, but whatever. All right. Well, since I feel like shit and I probably want to go take like my 8th nap of the day. Just saying nap gets me tired. All right. So, I'm going to introduce you guys to the Antisocial Circle member of the week. And then I'm going to chat with you guys about my baby cousin. She lives in London. Her name's Carrie. I love her. She's fantastic. And yeah, she's in her last year of acting at Lambda. And I love her. And I interviewed Kenny, at this point, 6 months ago. They're both my baby cousins from Vegas, and if you guys know me personally, you know how much I'm obsessed with my cousins and how often I go to Vegas. And I haven't seen Carrie in like over a year because of COVID, and it really upsets me. But I figured let's kind of catch up with her in her earlier stages before she becomes a household name, before you guys all know her and are begging for her autograph. Just know I'm the plug. I got you. Yeah, so like let's just catch up with Carrie, see what's going on, enjoy the interview. I'm gonna go enjoy my nap, and I'll see you guys after. My Antisocial Circle member of this week is my one and only true love, Laura, my BFF. And Hayden, I know if you're watching this, you'll be mad because you are also my BFF, but you're my favorite human ever, so you cannot get mad. But Laura is like my friend soulmate. Like, I really absolutely adore her. We've been best friends for years through sickness and health. Right now is more of the sickness. But she will always be there for me as I will be for her. And you know what? I figured this Valentine's Day, you got to shout out the ones that love you and the ones that you love. So, Lala, you're my Antisocial Circle member of the week. Sending you big hugs and kisses to Florida, and cannot wait to hopefully see you soon. Definitely vodka. I caught that on camera, everyone.
Definitely. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's not of legal age yet.
I am. I'm 21.
I'm kidding. No, you're still
I'm legal in the UK. I've been legal.
You've been legal in the UK, which is scary, but you're still a tiny baby. You're not 21. I refuse to.
Well, I'm going to be 22 in 3 months.
I know, which is disgusting.
Kenny's going to be 22.
No.
Yeah?
No, 2 months. It's already February. Okay, we'll round it to the end.
Yeah. I forgot that it's February. January didn't exist to me.
No.
Anyway.
Nothing exists.
Nothing exists.
Nothing exists. Can't talk. But you are the only thing that exists right now in my world, right? So, everybody, ladies and gents, this is Carrie Letelier, my baby cousin, who I refuse to believe is 21, even though I knew that. Hi, Carrie.
Hi. How are you?
Great. How are you? Long time no talk.
Thank you. I know. It's been too long.
Too long. No, we were literally just talking for like a good 20 minutes before I started recording. So, but yeah, no, but she's super busy and she's going to tell us a little bit about her life and what she's been up to, because Corona, unfortunately, has kept us apart for, I think, much longer than we've ever been apart.
Yeah. It's last year was the first year I hadn't been to the Cape my whole life.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't go to Vegas at all last year.
No.
So we need to
I barely went to Vegas last year. So.
True. And we're going to talk about that. So, Carrie, without further ado, give everybody a little bit insight about your life, a little bio about who you are and everything that you want us to know about you.
Well, my name's Carrie. I'm 21. I was born in Las Vegas. No, I wasn't. I was born in Fresno. I'm tired.
Okay,
I'm so tired.
keep in mind, we were talking about how she's spending like 8+ hours a day on Zoom in school, and now being where she is now, which she'll reveal in a moment, it's many more hours ahead than here. So
Yeah.
yes, it is bedtime there. So
It's getting close to my bedtime. No, I was born in Fresno, California, and was raised in Vegas. But I go to university for drama in London at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts, Lambda for short.
oh, dramatic.
So dramatic, and that's all that's important about me. So
I think not. I think there's many more important things about you.
oh yeah.
You're like, no, not really. The end. Goodbye. Click.
Yeah.
So, well, no, I mean, like, we need to talk about how you were like the muse for Kenny, who I interviewed Kenny, my other baby cousin, in season 1. And Kenny and Carrie are siblings, and Carrie was a big muse for Kenny's early photography works and film
Early work.
And you were an actress. You were my mini Taylor Swift. I mean, you were a girl of many, many talents. So don't sell yourself short on this. Come on.
Thank you. I was a part of many photo shoots, and I remember you talked about the shoes ad last time, and I believe my feet make a brief entrance in that in a bathtub.
Yes, I just watched those about 3 weeks ago, and I meant to send them to you. They're on my Facebook memories, and I was like, oh my God, I need to send them to Kenny and Carrie and just die laughing about it. So I might have to edit that in, because I think I said that about Kenny's interview, and that never ended up happening. So
oh my God, please do.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, please don't. I'm surprised. Yes. All right.
At this point, the internet's going to find out everything at one point, surely.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
might as well be proud of
Be proud of your work.
I will be.
Finest by Onyx is very comfortable, and the 100% Crafty crystal. It will make your friends blind. It will make your friends jealous. It will make your friends want to be you. Finest by Onyx.
So speaking of your work, so I've known you from literally, well, I mean, I've known you your whole life, but literally in like middle school and high school, being on stage, doing musical theater, taking singing lessons, taking guitar lessons, all this stuff, right? And now you're like really fulfilling a massive dream of yours. But tell everybody who does not know you how you got started.
Well, I danced since I was like 3. And I did that until like the age of 10 or 11. And then I remember seeing, surprisingly, Kenny in the like school play musical thing that they did in middle school. And I was like, that looks amazing. And he was like, I dreaded every second of it being on stage. And I was like, well, let's swap. So
exactly. You're like, no, I am born for this.
I was born for the spotlight. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I started doing musical theater when I was 11 in 6th grade in middle school. And then I kept doing that throughout high school. And I auditioned for lots of musical theater schools, didn't get into any of them for university. And then I auditioned for Lambda, which is just straight acting, but also has like music training as well. And that's where so I'm pursuing a little bit more the acting now rather than the musical theater, because I found a bit more of a spark with it, if that isn't douchey. Can I say that? I don't know.
Of course you can. I'm like, do you know how many times I swear on here? And even Hayden watches it. Other kids watch. I'm like, F this, F that, F, 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 F. Like an F parade. Don't even worry.
Good.
But we skipped over a very brief little blip in your life of going to school in Utah.
Oh yeah.
Before you went to Lambda, you went to school in Utah. So let's talk about that transition from living in Vegas, going to private school, you know, leaving your bubble, your comfort zone to go to this magical place.
Southern Utah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to SUU, Southern Utah University, for a year. I don't think I could have mentally done a gap year. I like being busy, and I like academia, and I think I would have disintegrated slowly if I had to do a gap year. So I decided, instead of waiting another year and auditioning for more schools, I would go to a university in Utah for a year. And it was a very small town. The Utah Shakespeare Festival is there, so there is theater there, which was good, and the school's associated with it, but it's a heavily religious town, and I wasn't into that religion, and it was an eye-opening experience. I thought it was a time for growth, because it was very isolating, and it made me think a lot of things, and I don't think I would have had the courage to audition for an international school if I hadn't spent a year with my thoughts in the middle of the countryside with like cows next door to me. So yeah.
People might think you're exaggerating, but
I'm not.
We're not. You were absolutely not. No.
It was like the city was like literally this big, and then if you went this way, it was like full on cowboys, polygamists. It was the middle of nowhere, and it was only 3 hours away from Vegas, so it was a massive cultural change for being so close to home.
Yeah.
But
well, especially because you went to Catholic school growing up, you know, so that was a huge shift from, you know, and I don't think like Catholicism defines your entire life, but you were born and raised into a religion, and you have an understanding and a faith-based, you know, surrounding one thing, and then you go to an area that's literally 99.9% Mormon. So when you're sitting there talking about isolation, it's not even just like the fact of the population, it's literally that you're like, I can't relate to these people, because I remember your freshman year roommate got engaged and married, I think after before the first semester even ended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I still have some friends from that school, people who were more open and understanding and willing, and not that Mormonism isn't a understanding religion, but it was just very different, and I think I had a lot of ideals that were not aligned with a lot of those people. So it was just, and I'm not very Catholic. I have many opinions on the Catholic Church now that I am an adult and have had time to think about things.
And you can step away from it for a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, and I go to a very artsy school, and I live in a city. But it was just, it was isolating, and it was a time to reflect that I think I needed. And I'm really glad that I did go there, because I don't think I would be where I am today if I hadn't had that experience. So
I agree, because you did apply to some schools in Boston and upstate New York, and we went on those college tours together.
oh yes, we did.
We sure did a road trip to Ithaca. Well, it was how many hours? 4 or 5? I think 5 hours, and we
Yeah.
didn't stop once.
No,
we
we didn't.
literally were like, let's just get there. It was beautiful, but it didn't work out, and that's okay, because it wasn't meant to, which
No.
is totally fine.
Yeah.
But that was our first round of like college tours, because you flew in from Vegas. We did the fun cousin bonding time. We went to a Panic at the Disco concert.
Oh, what a concert that was.
Right?
It was glorious. It was so good.
Pouring rain. Okay, so let's circle back for a moment, because that's when you were still in high school at this point. And you came out that summer, and we did the college tours. I took you to the original Dunkin' Donuts. We have pictures.
A dream. A dream.
And then we go to the concert, and it's literally Panic at the Disco and Weezer. And it was about less than 2 weeks after I just got my brand new car. And it is pouring rain out.
Yeah.
We left after Panic at the Disco performed because Weezer was on next. And we're like, no, we're going.
Yeah.
We finally get back to the car to realize that Carrie mistakenly had left the window open.
I had forgotten about that until right now. And I am so sorry.
You have PTSD now. You're like, shit, I thought I was away from that.
It's so like me to do something like that as well.
I know, but I forget, I forgive you. Don't even worry about it. But you were like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't die. That's all that matters. But
it's true.
Yeah, no, but we were just like there having a moment, because it's like, even though we have a 15-year difference between us, it's like, I feel like we're peers a lot of time. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I always forget that you're like my mom's cousin twice removed or something. I'm like, no, you're like me and Kenny's cousin.
Yes.
Like, no, you're not a part of that side. You're with us. Like
exactly. You're like, you were a first cousin declared because we're so close. Yes. No, but that's really how it was. I mean, I would go to Vegas at least like once or twice a year and come hang out with you guys and spend time with you. And while mom was out of town doing ballroom dance, I had the opportunity to play mom for the week and, drive you guys to school, make sure homework is done, always take you to the strip after school. And you're like, Katie Lee, stop it. Like we only go when you come to town. I've been to plays. I've been to Moms and Muffins where I played mom number 2. Yes. You wrote like mom number 2 on my little invitation or something. So I've definitely watched you grow up and flourish into this beautiful lady before me. You're like, hey. But so we fast forward, we do the college tour, you go to Utah for a year, but then something happens. Mom reaches out to me and says, Katie Lee, we need you, if you're ever so willing, to take Carrie to LA for auditions because we are going to be out of the country traveling. And I was like, no, I got you. Anytime it involves these kids and traveling, I'm like, it's a wrap. Wow. Like, this is it. So let's talk about that experience because that brings you to where you are today.
Oh, indeed. Oh boy. So that, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's basically there's this big coalition of universities that go to LA every year to audition high school students for their school. And that was my second time doing that. I did that my first year auditioning as well. But yeah, you just basically audition for as many schools as possible in one weekend and hope for the best. Lambda was slightly before that. I went to UCLA and did my Lambda audition there with my mom took me. But at that one, I did like Royal Welsh. I think I did a tape for what's it called? Drama Center, which are both in the UK. And then I did like 8 American schools as well in that one trip. And that's a wild time. And I didn't hear anything back from Lambda at that time. It was like 4 months later or 3 months later that I got an email saying that I got a second round, which was wild. I got that on a walk home from like an 8 a.m. class in Utah. It was like snowing and I was like miserable. and then I got an email and I was like, this is exciting. And then I had to go to New York and audition for them again. And now I'm here and everything worked out.
It did. So I remember because Boston University was starting up a program. So we sat in on that little info session during
That's how I heard about Lambda.
Yeah. And so you have been like connecting with these people. So in Ithaca, you already had a connection there. We went to her office and met. You were talking to people, you know, so it's like going through that second round. And, you know, Carrie and I were just talking off camera, but I was like, I literally remember that trip where we had the bags, you know, we just packed little overnight bags and we were in the hotel lobby and she's like, oh my God, I just got a call back. For like, the schools. And I think it was Royal Welsh, actually.
It was.
Say that.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, go. I'll stay here in the lobby. If we miss the flight, I don't even care. Like we could just drive back to Vegas because it was literally, she drove from Utah Thursday night. We flew out Friday and then we're leaving to go back to Vegas literally Sunday night, and she woke up at like 3 a.m. to drive back to Utah for class on Monday. So it was like the quickest turnaround. But I was like, girl, if we miss our flight, if you have to miss school, like we are here for a reason, do it, you know? So I definitely agree with you. Had you not gone to Utah, I don't feel like you would have had the opportunity to audition again, have the opportunity to go to be where you are now. You've traveled quite a bit for like auditions because you also came to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You also got stuck in an airport with your mom for like hours.
Yeah. In North Carolina.
Yes.
That was for my Lambda second round. That was the big Northeaster that happened that year. And it was like we were supposed to, it was a similar thing where I was like, I drove from Utah to Vegas just to go to New York for the weekend and then come back for my Monday class in Utah. And I was supposed to just be like Vegas to Dallas, Dallas to JFK. But that didn't happen. We did Vegas to Dallas, and then we got put on like a flight, and then it got canceled, and then another flight, and then it got canceled, and then another flight, and then we were like, you know what, let's just go to the closest airport that we can get to New York, which was North Carolina. And so we went to North Carolina, and then we like tried to get a plane from North Carolina to JFK, and then they were like, all planes to New York are canceled. And we were like, right.
Right.
So we like slept for like 3 or 4 hours in North Carolina. And then like we're on a waiting list for a flight to New Jersey. And then we like got off the waiting list and onto the flight. And so we like got up after like 3 hours of sleep and went to the airport and got to New Jersey, and then we took a cab from New Jersey to New York. And then we were supposed to get there 2 days before my audition, and we got there 4 hours before my audition.
And didn't you guys lose your luggage?
Yeah, like we got it back the half an hour before we left to come back to Vegas. So we got into New York, and I was like so sleep deprived. I like stank. I hadn't showered in like 48 hours. And we went to the Target that was like across the street from the hotel we were staying at. That we stayed at the hotel literally across the street from Chelsea Studios, which was where I auditioned for Lambda. And so we like ran to the Target. We like got me a top and some like underwear. I just wore the same leggings that I'd been in. And then I like went back, I showered, I slept for maybe 30 minutes. I got up, I don't know why I did this to myself. I still hadn't properly learned the duologue I had to do for the audition. So I got up, learned all the lines for my duologue, and then was like, right, time to go. And then I like went downstairs and went across the street and then did my audition.
I think just talking about the fact that you went to school, that was not your favorite choice. How you've traveled literally from coast to coast and what it has taken for you to get there, and that determination. People that really wouldn't want that wouldn't go through such great lengths to do that. So I think you got there because you were determined and because you're talented. That's why you're there. Welcome. So you're like, I don't know how I got here. I'm like, come on. Now. So you've had 3 years? Well, we're wrapping up the full year. I cannot talk. And you're ready to graduate in just a few short months, and you've had a lot of projects that you've done while you're there. Have you had like a favorite play or film or character that you've played that you're like, this was like my all-time favorite while being here?
There's a few that I've really loved. We were talking earlier about the Shakespeare we just did, which was the rehearsal time got cut by more than half, and like we had to do that in like 3 weeks, and it was crazy, but that I really loved that character. It was Bolingbroke in Richard II. And he's like described as this massive, manly dude who's like a warlord, and he just like he's just like the most skilled fighter in all of England, and like he like gathers all these troops and like gets all these people to follow him, and then he insurrects the king and like becomes the king at the end, and then he just crashes down at the end when he finds out the king's his cousin, and when he finds out his king has been murdered by one of his followers, and he's like, I didn't want that to happen. I still love him. He's still my cousin. And that was amazing, because it's so rare to have, especially as a woman in the theater industry, to have such a meaty role, and like a role that is 100% not my casting type. I am not a massive warlord man. Like very clearly I'm quite a feminine lady. So like that just for what the school was asking of me, and the fact, and there was a cast of 15, there was only 3 women in the production.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the other 2 women one of them played the queen and the other one played the duchess, and then I was a man. And so just the fact that the school trusted me enough and was like, you can do this. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I can.
I was like, I'll try.
And you proved it to them. And so I just want to say that your insurrection is the only insurrection I stand for. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I'm like,
thank you. It's the only storming of the Capitol that we are here for in this time.
So is there any place that we can find you right now? I want you to drop your social handles if you would like to. If you have like a YouTube channel, like where can people find and kind of like see your progression from past works and current and future works?
Well, my Instagram, I will look up, because I currently can't remember what I'm actually called on Instagram.
I can look it up for you.
But I am Carrie Lette on Instagram, if you want to give me a follow. I don't post much. There's not much going on right now.
He hasn't posted since August 18th. That is rude. I need you to post something.
It's because I can't. The thing is, I can't follow up that photo yet.
Because it was badass.
Because it was badass, and Kenny took it, and I look
at that.
Cool. And like, that's a good photo of me. And I've not taken a good photo of me since then. So,
girl, Snapchat filters. I was like, when I saw this, I'm like, who the fuck is this human that is my baby cousin that grew up before my eyes? Because I was just like, what a baddie. Like, damn.
What a baddie. She's not always like that, but she can be like that.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's like what makeup and filters are good for.
Yep.
And yeah, hold on, I'm gonna YouTube your name. Okay, yeah, I never subscribed to you. That's so awful. I just did.
It's fine. I've not posted on there since coming
2
to
years
Lambda.
ago.
Yeah. Because Lambda for the first 2 years is 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I've not had the time. But I probably should get back on that game.
I think so.
I may have written a few songs since then, so.
Yeah. And if you're able to like upload any acting clips, I'm like, we got to put you out to the universe, that agents are going to find you because they're just Googling you and it brings you directly to your YouTube, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I do need to put some new work on there, even if it's just like covers, just as an update, because I've changed quite a lot in the past 2 years.
I would say so. Yeah. I would say so. Now, all right, one last question. So you are just Carrie Letelier. Sorry, I didn't even answer that. I just Googled your name and it brought me right to that. And I think that's what your name is on here. Yeah.
I think, Carrie Letelier or Carrie Lette.
Yes.
L-E-E.
Yes. So you guys can go gracefully stalk my cousin, but not like too much, because then I'm like, she has a boyfriend, so like back off. Okay. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap up. Tell me one of your like most memorable moments of you and I, like during our traveling or when I was in Vegas, like something that really sticks out.
I mean, the first thing it's such a random memory, but the first thing that comes to mind is when you took me and Mariah to the gondolas, and we had both, we were talking about the scarves we've knitted with our fingers. And that picture lives in my brain rent-free every day. They're like so tiny and they're so shit, but we were so proud of them.
You
and I
were
just remember
so proud.
And you bought us shirts.
The red and white striped,
from Venetian, and we were like, felt like true baddies, and we were like, but I had full braces and like greasy forehead, and like it wasn't a look, but it was my look.
It was your look, and you really like just took it in and embraced it. Yes,
I embraced my looks throughout the years. I shouldn't have, as we had discussed. But
no, I think you should have. And you know why? Because I think that you had the confidence, and like you weren't like comparing yourself to others or making yourself feel bad about yourself. You were like, nope, this is me. This is how I'm going to roll. This is my style. This is my aesthetic. This is who I am. You were unapologetic, girl.
I was.
That's what I've
come into my style more now, but
you match.
I match now. I match. I figured out what matching is, guys. No more plaid on plaid on plaid. That's too matchy.
Yes. Well, it was also different plaids too.
It was different plaids, but also stripes. And also berets.
I just need to snuggle. I love this fucking duvet cover. I'll give you guys a tour one day. Everything's still getting settled. But that's it. I need to just log off and go back to sleep. I will see you guys next week. I'll bring the energy. I'll bring the excitement. I'll talk some more shit. And that's it. That's it. Have a great week. Be safe. Wear a mask. Bring me Gatorade. And that's it. I love y'all. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Okay, bye.